Hi again! It's Erin Van Handel from ZMocked Sewing Blog. And welcome to another installment of Work in Progress. Work in Progress is where you get to see me sewing in real life, what it takes to make the garments I ultimately end up wearing. I share with you my triumphs and tragedies along the way. And I try to share with you, to the best of my ability, tools, tips, tricks, hacks, whatever I can to hopefully make your sewing experience better. Because I know sometimes it's just nice to see someone do their sewing thing to understand how to improve your own technique. Okay. Enough of this chatter about what WIP or WIP is. Thank you for joining me this week. We are going to chat about a pair of flannel pajamas. And in particular, I'm going to show you how I pattern match across the front bodice of these flannel pajamas. And by the way, this isn't a commercial pattern. This is a pattern that I actually drafted for myself based on my own measurements. So it's kind of a very special thing to me. Let's get on with it. This is the front bodice for my flannel ostrich pajamas, as you can see. I am going to show you how I am matching this ostrich pattern across the front button-up portion. This seam here, the front opening, is going to be finished with a facing, and the seam allowance of that facing is going to be 1/4 inch. And the button overlap is going to be 3/4 of an inch. I've got this piece cut out. You can see here. The next thing for me to do is going to be taking off my pattern weights, taking off the paper pattern piece here, and then I'm going to be shifting the fabric pattern piece. This is the right side of the bodice. I'm going to be pulling it on the rest of the fabric here to find the perfect match. It's totally fussy, but I think it's going to be awesome to have this row of ostriches marching across the front of my pajama top. We're back at the cutting table. We're going to cut out the left bodice piece. Right here, I'm going to kind of run my finger, is the right bodice piece. This is the front opening here. Here's the bottom. I don't think it's in shot here. Here's the arm's eye. As you can see, I did a really good job here, a very mindful job of matching the prints from the right bodice piece to this piece of fabric where I'm going to be cutting out the left bodice piece. The first thing I did to make this pattern matching go smoothly is I turned the 1/4 inch seam allowance on the front opening here. I just gave it a light press, no steam, this edge. This is going to be what the finish edge looks like. This is going to be where the ostriches fall on the finished edge once I've sewn the facing. So now what I'm going to do is take the front bodice pattern piece again, and I am going to match it to the right pattern piece here. I'm giving you a bit of a reverse angle, and I'm going to talk through what my next steps are. So you can see I've rolled back, I've pulled back the right bodice piece, and I have used my chalk marker here to mark a dotted line along the bottom of the left bodice and a little bit on the right bodice, so that I have basically think of this as a y-axis and this is an x-axis. This gives me an x-axis to slide against, so I know that I'm not basically shifting the pattern piece around so that the print loses its matchingness. The next thing I did was draw a dotted line along the front of the left bodice piece. And you can see here kind of faintly, there is, so this is the wrong side, so all of like my marks and stuff are backward and light. There's a faint line here, and this line represents where the seam allowance, the 1/4 inch seam allowance, is going to be. So 1/4 inch for the seam allowance, and then 3/4 inch for the button placket essentially is 1 inch. So this line is 1 inch from the edge, and basically what that line tells me is that I need to shift the left pattern piece on the x-axis over by 1 inch. So I'm going to carefully slide the whole piece over following my x-axis, and I'm going to make sure the 1 inch line from the edge there is right on top of this yellow dotted line. I slid the pattern piece over on the x-axis. Can you see my finger on this x-axis by 1 inch? And this is really cool. This is moment of truth time. Whoop. So you can see how the print lines up across the two sides. It looks a little goofy from this angle, but trust me, from above, directly above, you've got a match here. I hope you enjoyed this look into how I did the pattern matching on my flannel ostrich pajamas. And before too long, I should have a blog post and probably another video with the completed pajamas. So stay tuned for that. Take care, guys. See you soon.